All right, good morning, everybody. How are we all today? Welcome to the live. Look at that for a view. Wow, absolutely beautiful day, beautiful spring day here in Benidorm. Um, and I'm looking forward to today. It's going to be something a little bit different. I've never really done a Q&A like this before. Normally I do sort of when we do our lives, I'm just sort of wandering about and walking about and talking a load of gibberish, really, waffling on. But today I'm going to focus on trying to answer some of your questions about this amazing place, which I love so much, and most of you do too. Of course, it is Benidorm. So let's just have a little quick look first and see who we've got online today. I was hoping to get this set up so I could sit down, relax, and have this quite. I'm quite a chilled, but I can't. These rocks that I'm on are just way too wobbly. I can't find anywhere that's sturdy enough to hold the tripod in place. So I'm just going to have to hold it. Okay, so let's have a look. Who have we got on today? Jenny Lee. We've got Derek Hughes. We've got Dorian, we've got Martin Williams, we've got Paul. We've got a fair few people getting on and joining us now. Just while we're sort of getting everybody on here, I'm going to just quickly spin you around and show you this, because just look at how calm the Med is today. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's like a lake. Look at that. There's barely a wave anywhere. The shore is just, yeah, there's just no waves. It's quite surreal, really, just how calm it is. A few people now getting set up on the beach for today. It's going to be a hot one today, I think. It's looking like it's going to be another beautiful, beautiful day. What's the temperature forecast for today? Let me have a little look. 23 degrees, highs of 23 today. The nights have started to warm up as well. Just only dropping to the mid-teens now overnight. Yeah, beautiful. Look at this guy climbing up or climbing down the cable ski. It must be tightening the cables. Can you see him? You see him in there? I mean, if you guys have had a go at that, I say it every year that I'm going to, but I think I actually might have to this year. My niece challenged me recently to get on that cable ski. She says if she comes over in summer and does it, I have to do it. Well, I'll never live it down if I didn't. Who else we've got on? We've got Linda, Reese, David Wright, Nicola. We've got Woody Wood, Sally Robertson, Sue Roberts, Sharon Baker, Joanna Hammett, James Stark, Paul Wallace. Was you in Funky yesterday, Paul? Thank you very much for coming along. Dave from Brighton, hello. Nicola, Claire, David Lee. David Lee's in Benidorm right now at the Bee House on the Mediterranean. We've got Alan Smithy, Ian, Danielle. Yes, I do, Danielle. Do you still work in Flamingos? Lucy, yes, I do Friday afternoons and Monday nights. Jenny Lee's asking if there are any crabs around here. I can't see any at the minute. I'm sure there are, because there's always crabs around here. Right, we've got a fair few people online now, so we will spin around again, and I'm going to crack on with the questions. Okay, let me just get in the middle somewhere. Like that. Can you all see me? Can you all hear me? Loud and clear coming through. I've got the sun in my eyes, so I might struggle to read a little bit. You might see me putting some funny faces as I'm trying to read the questions. So let's go right back to the start. First question was from Derek. Have you been back in Nova? Yeah, I go to Nova. Yeah, I go to Nova quite often. It's a lovely bar in the Old Town. Cocktails are incredible. Any advice for solo travellers, Reese? Keep your wits about you, same as you should do, even if you're with somebody else, to be honest. Just keep your wits about you. Don't get so drunk that you don't know where you are, you don't know what you're doing. Obviously, if you're on your own, you've got nobody's got your back. I actually think that sort of advice is more relevant when you're with other people, because when you're with other people and you let your guard down, often the people that you're with, or so I've seen, let you down, because the amount of guys that get left, their mates just leave them on the street and whatnot. Yeah, just keep your wits about you, as you would anywhere really. Don't leave your common sense on a plane, as many people do. Let's see, okay, where else? What next question? Is the EES causing delays? Not at Alicante, no it's not. Thankfully, I know we've seen a lot of stories from the Canaries, from France, from a lot of places, a lot of countries have been having a lot of problems with the EES. But at Alicante, at the moment, it is running very, very well. It's going very smoothly. Easter I didn't hear about any problems during Easter, even though there was also some strikes. There are still a few ongoing strikes with the baggage handlers, and just a couple of hours on certain days, but even they don't seem to be causing delays. I keep doing posts on my Facebook page asking people that have been recently to give us their experience, tell us about how it has been for them coming through Alicante and leaving from Alicante, and so far so good. It's all very positive at Alicante Airport, which is absolutely fantastic news, because we have all seen some absolute nightmare stories from some places. People missing flights, queuing for 3-4 hours, still not getting through. But no, not happening at Alicante. It is all good so far. Let's see what's next question. I am struggling with these, my eyes. Woody Wood, have I got friends from Clifton in Nottingham? I do indeed. My friend Faye, who lives over here, is from Clifton. So that's why we were in Clifton. It's her daughter, who is my niece basically. She was born in Spain, but she now lives at her grandma's house in Clifton. So yeah, that's why we were there. The weather is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, for me, the temperatures right now are perfect. Anywhere between, I always say that 20 degrees is the magic number for me coming out of winter, when I start getting my arms out and getting my legs out. When it gets to sort of 22, 23, anywhere between 22, 23 and 27 degrees for me is perfect. I would love it to stay like this all year round. Obviously that doesn't happen. We have colder periods and we have hotter periods. The summers get too hot for me now. I used to absolutely love the hot weather, but I'm not really one for laying out in it much anymore. I just like to be on the go all the time. So 22, 23 to 27 is ideal temperatures for being able to stay out and about and do stuff, rather than just laying on a lounger all day. Okay. Sue Roberts, thank you very much for the super chat. She sent us a £5. Bless you, Sue. Very kind of you, Sue. Very, very kind of you. Much appreciated. And yes, I am surprisingly, and I never ever thought I would say this, I am starting to enjoy going to the gym. I know that is wild. Never in a million years would I imagine myself starting to enjoy going to the gym, but I've been going for the last couple of weeks. I think this is the 3rd week now, and yeah, I'm getting right into it, which I'm hoping it just becomes sort of habit for me now. We'll see what happens. We'll see. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself, but yeah, we'll see what happens there. Okay. Let me come back a little bit. I think I might have missed a couple of questions there. Are there any beaches in Benidorm that topless isn't allowed? No, topless is allowed on every beach in Benidorm. And there are 2 beaches where even more than topless is allowed as well. Nudity is allowed. They're the 2 little beaches round at the Rincon de Loix corner at the bottom of the Sierra Helada. The Calle Tio Chimo and Calle Almadraba. If you want to get everything out on there, you're fine. But no, even on the main beaches, topless is allowed. Then we've got Ollie asking about the Princey Park Hotel. I've got friends that stay in Princey Park almost every time they come to Benidorm, and they go there because it's very well priced for where it is. It's sort of back of the old town, not too far from the new town really. It's not really close to, how can I describe the location? It's not really close to either Old Town or New Town or Poniente. It's a little bit out of the way, but if you want to get to any of those places, you're only sort of 10-minute walk in either direction, if that makes any sense. If that makes sense. But yeah, they love the Princey Park. They say it's got very good facilities, and they like to walk, so they don't mind heading out and about and wandering out to get to wherever they are going to spend their day. When do the stags and hens start to leave? Well, we get stags and hens all year round now, but we are at the minute in the peak stag and hen season. There are groups on the weekends, a lot of groups. When it gets towards the sort of mid to end of May, we'll see the stags and hens dwindling a little bit, and we get the more sort of summer holiday makers making their way out here then. Couples, groups of friends that are a little bit older, slightly more mature, not the stag and hen kind of groups. You get birthday groups, you just get friend groups, but they're not so much the stag and hen groups. They will start to go off. We generally have sort of a month to 6 weeks right now where it's hardcore stag and hen season. Your picture is the wrong way around. I'm on selfie mode. I'm on the selfie camera, so yeah, it's a mirror image. Nicola, with your Where To Next channel. Yeah, if you didn't know about our Where To Next channel, guys, we have got another YouTube channel which we have been doing some travelling away from Benidorm in our motorhome, and some little holidays we did to Krakow. We've been to Budapest on that channel. We've been to New York on that channel, but more recently we've been doing van life kind of videos over on that channel. Would I travel to the islands, to Mallorca and Ibiza? I have looked at it, you know. I looked at there's a guy I follow online called Andy, and I started following him because he does a lot of motorhome travelling in the north of Spain, which is where we went last summer. And he's recently been over to Mallorca in his motorhome, and I'm picking his brain to see, is it really motorhome friendly, because I know they've had problems with over tourism in Mallorca. So I was kind of thinking, are they going to be that welcoming to even more tourism, a different type of tourism coming their way, sort of thing. So I wanted to see how well accepted he was, and he said he was made to feel very, very welcome, but there aren't many services for that sort of travel, for motorhome travel. So I'm not sure if it would be ideal for us now. I don't really want to go somewhere and be constantly struggling to search for places to stay and places to empty and stuff like that. But would I fly over? I've actually looked at the ferry as well. That was an option from Denia. Very expensive though, to get the ferry from Denia over to Mallorca and Ibiza. It's much more expensive than I thought it would be. So that kind of took that off the cards. I'm sure we will get over there at some point. Formentera is one of the places I would most like to see. over in the Balearics. I've been to Mallorca, been to Menorca, been to Ibiza, been to the three sort of big ones in my life, but when I was younger. But yeah, I would like to get over there at some point. I can't tell you when it will be though. Tim, is that Tim? As someone who's never had the courage to do karaoke and can't sing, well, what's a good song to have a go at when I come over in May? Okay, so I would suggest something that everybody's going to sing along with, something that everybody knows the words to. Very popular ones: Elvis, Neil Diamond, the Beatles, big songs like that, where everybody in the audience will help you out and give you a bit of a confidence boost. And if you're not the best singer, it doesn't matter on karaoke. Karaoke is not about being the best singer. It's about enjoying yourself, just enjoying the moment, letting go, you know, just letting loose for 3.5 minutes or however long the song lasts. That's what I see karaoke is all about. It's just about getting into the moment. If you love music, it doesn't matter if you can sing or not. It really doesn't. But yeah, if you're a bit nervous, I would definitely suggest something that the audience will know the words to, and they can all sing along with you and help you out. Okay, we've got session. Do you think Benidorm is getting more popular each year? It definitely is. The numbers say so. Since COVID, it has been record breaking every year. We're hitting higher tourism numbers. I think Benidorm is broadening its horizons to attract different people. Definitely seen. I've met. I can't even guess how many. I would say it's in the thousands of people that I've met since COVID that have come here for the first time, who never would have considered it before, and they've said they come because they saw our videos, which me is mind blowing. Yeah, it's definitely opened its horizons to other people, different ages, different nationalities, different backgrounds. People are realising that they can find their little, whatever they want their holiday to be, they can find it in Benidorm. People are realising that now, which is great. Will it continue getting busier? I've got to say, I didn't think this year would get busier, because prices are on the rise, you know, and a lot of people are complaining about prices. People are saying that Benidorm's pushing and it's going to price itself out, but we're not seeing that. We're not seeing evidence of that. People are still coming, people are still paying the prices. Will there come a point where that stops? I keep saying, yeah, it'll happen, but it doesn't. It's kind of bizarre, you know. I think, yeah, I don't really know. People say they won't pay it, but they do pay it. So the prices are not going to stop rising until people stop paying it, which isn't happening yet. So will the price rise continue, and will Benidorm stay popular? It seems that there are people that just want to come to Benidorm no matter how much it costs. I do think hotels need to be careful, and travel companies need to be careful, because, yeah, like I say, I keep saying there will come a point that people stop coming, but we're just not seeing that yet. So we can only see what happens, really. Let's see. What's that behind me in the sea? The picture's in reverse because I'm on selfie mode on my phone, guys. Otherwise, I can't read the comments. If the screen's turned the other way, I can't read the comments. But let's have a look at what the thing in the sea is. The thing in the sea is the cable ski. So this is the only mechanical cable ski. Basically, it's a mechanical jet ski wakeboard thing in the world, in the sea. They have these in lakes, and they have them in freshwater places. I think there's one in Oz, or possibly US, in a big lake somewhere, but this is the only one in the sea in the world. So those cables will drag people round on either jet skis or on a wakeboard, make their way around. There's little jumps, and that's what that is. And I will be going on it this year. I've promised I'll get on it this year. Okay, so we have Simon. Why don't the police dress as civilians to capture the potato man? Because the game that they play is not illegal. It's actually the other way around. The people that give their money, place their bet, they're the ones breaking the law. So although they hide from the police and they run away from the police, that's because they just don't want the hassle of the police. But even if the police were to catch them playing that game, they couldn't actually arrest them. They could arrest them if they caught them with their hands in someone's pocket, if they caught them pickpocketing or something like that, then yeah, they could arrest them. But they're too good at it. They're too damn good at it, and there's a lot of them in on the group, in on the game, in on the gang, and yeah, they're just too clever at it. So that's why the police don't go in plain clothes, because it would be a pointless operation, really. Okay, who we got next? We have Mighty Leeds. My fine Leeds United supporter, hope you're well and all good. I will be even better if we win later today. Jenny Lee's bringing her whole family later this year. Is it June you're coming? Or is it May? You're coming earlier this year. It's normally June that you come. Question. Around 3 weeks ago, there was a lot of thugs smashing bars in the new town. Do you know what happened? And did they get caught by the police? If you're talking about the St Patrick's Day, they did arrest quite a few of them. I don't know what happened after the follow-up. I'm not in with the police to be asking them whether they actually went to court or not. Yorkshire Bitcoiner, which is your favourite fiesta? Oh, do you know, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. I really like the big fiesta in November. I'm just going to move over it because there's people talking. I don't want to be rude, but getting other people's conversations on. So my favourite fiesta. Oh yeah, tough one. What am I going to go for? I think I have to go for the Mayores Patronales, and not because of the fancy dress at all, to be honest. I'm way past enjoying the fancy dress day. It's too much for me now, but I do love all the Spanish stuff that goes on around the old town for the Fiestas Mayores Patronales. That's in November. Yes, great fiesta. If you're only ever going to get to one, then I would. But then I love, I love San Juan as well. I love San Juan in June, when there's the big beach party at night and everyone runs in the sea. Oh, that's a tough one. That is a tough one, yeah. No, I'm going to go with Fiestas Mayores Patronales because it's a longer event, and it is just to celebrate Benidorm. So yeah, I have to go with that, really. Do people still take kids to Benidorm, or is it becoming an adult destination? Benidorm is very, very, very family friendly. I would say hundreds of thousands of Spanish families, French families, Portuguese, Italian, Dutch, Belgian families come here every year. I think, and I have to be very careful how I word this because I'm probably going to offend some people here. In my opinion, those nationalities that I've just mentioned holiday very differently to some of the British and some of the Irish. What they class as a family holiday is different to what some British and some Irish class as a family holiday. They're not wanting to drag kids around bars as some British and some Irish are wanting to do. They sort of feel like that's a family holiday. For me, that I don't think that's a family holiday, just taking your kids on a pub crawl. So, but you know, it depends. Yeah, the other Europeans, they bring families here and they'll spend days by the pool on the beach. They'll go for a family meal. They go back to the beach at night, have some time on the beach at night. They'll go for the dinner. They'll sit on a terrace for an hour after they have their dinner, and that is a family holiday. They're not wanting to go and watch shows with kids. They're not wanting to go to clubs with kids. When it comes to doing that, no, there isn't. If you want to take your kids on bar crawls, Benidorm's not the place to do it. I'm going to say it as going to be as blunt as I can with that. If that's what you want to do on a family holiday, then Benidorm isn't the place to do it. There are not that many bars which allow kids in on a night, especially on the strip, and it's just not a place for kids now. It's a place for partying. It's a place for hardcore partying, is the strip. Why would you want to take kids there? I don't understand it. Other bars away from the strip, beachfront, Old Town, yeah, sit on a terrace for an hour on a night after dinner, enjoy the outdoor lifestyle that you can get in Benidorm. If that's what you want to do in a family holiday, perfect. You can do all sorts of things in the daytime. You can go to the beach, you can go to the pool, you can go on excursions. We've got water parks, we've got zoos, we've got theme parks, we've got go-karting, we've got Festilandia, amusement arcade, and the little fair on the Mediterranean. There is loads and loads of things for kids, but if you're just interested to go to bars, and I would not recommend Benidorm for it. Yes, that's my answer. That was a long one, weren't it? And I hope you don't upset anyone there. There you go. Jenny Lee, doing amazing. Thank you. Daniel Holmes, living the dream. John Herdman, are there any tourist tax in Benidorm? No tourist tax. No tourist tax. Zero. If somebody asks you for a tourist tax, they're scamming you. They're pulling your leg because there isn't one. Maybe there should be. What do you guys think about that? I'm starting to go towards there should be a tourist tax now for Benidorm. The amount of tourists we get here, the money that is paid by the residents, there's not enough money for people that live here to pay for the amount of people you're getting taxed from. 75,000 people to deal with and to supply services and amenities for, on average, 500,000 people. There's 500,000 people in Benidorm at any sort of given time. So the tax from residents, from the you're right, the tax from 75,000 residents isn't enough. People are going to say tax the businesses more. Businesses are tight, businesses run on a tight profit margin here. That's why you see so many closing and opening. That's why they push for quantity sales, cheap beer, because as soon as prices go up for anything, everywhere gets slated in Benidorm because it's supposed to be such a cheap destination. You can't put prices up here. As soon as that happens, people just start going wild. So should there be a tourist tax? Let me know what you think about that, guys. And would you pay it as you do in other resorts? Barcelona's just doubled their tourist tax. It's been there for quite a while. Balearics, they have a tourist tax. I'm not sure how much that is right now. But it would go a long way towards making Benidorm a cleaner place, providing more services, getting things like pavement done, all that sort of stuff. Let me know what you think about that. How expensive is living in Benidorm right now? Crazy. House prices are mind-blowing. Unbelievable, to be honest with you. Unbelievable. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. If you're looking at buying property now in Benidorm, you're bonkers. If you ask me, you're bonkers to pay what they're asking, because it is just mad for what you actually get. in the bricks and mortar. You know, you're looking at 150 grand for a studio apartment that probably needs a lot of work. It's madness. We bought our apartment 3 years ago. We paid 115 grand for it. It's a 2-bedroom apartment. Could actually call it 3 because I have my office as well, so it's sort of 3 bedrooms. And an apartment in the exact same block on the same side as us, same distribution as us, has just gone on the market for 206. So it's almost doubled in 3 years. It's madness. It is absolute madness. And rent as well. Rent to rent a studio, you're looking at £1,000 a month. Most places, £1,000 a month for a studio. Who can afford that? It's not the people that work here. It's not the people that are working in the bars, in the restaurants, in the hotels. They are not on that sort of money. So I don't know. People that do work here are getting pushed out. And I don't know how that's going to pan out, really. They need to do something to supply more housing for your average sort of worker, because bars and restaurants are still screaming out for staff every season when it starts getting busy, but people can't afford to live here. So yeah, that is cost of living. Peter Crowley, where will Four Jacks relocate to? Any idea when they are opening? I know exactly where they're relocating to, but I'm not allowed to say anything. Yeah, I've been asked to keep my mouth shut, and if people ask me not to say anything, I do keep my mouth shut. I'm not a blabber. So as soon as they give the go ahead, I'm sure they will be posting it on their socials. It's not too far from where they are. Let's just say that it's the Levante side of Benidorm, Newtown area, and they will be hoping to open within the next couple of weeks. And on that, can I recommend a good karaoke DJ to go and see? Bagpiper. You're looking at one, love. Me. Come and see me. Come and see me at Funky Flamingo, Friday afternoons, 3 o'clock till 8 o'clock, and Monday nights, 7 o'clock till midnight. Come and see me. Come and give me a song. James Stark, have the recent police raids on bars reduced the issues on the strip in your opinion? And pick one to happen. Oh, I've lost it. Pick one to happen in the future. Leeds to win the Premier League or Benidorm to win La Liga. Leeds all the way. Leeds is my heart. So yeah, I love the Benidorm football team, but no, they don't come close to what I have in my heart for Leeds United. I was brought up with Leeds United. I was a season ticket holder when I was a kid. All my younger years I was Leeds mad. So yeah, it has to be Leeds winning the Premier League. Will I ever see it in my lifetime? Probably not. Back to the other question, the police. So after all the police raids, I took a walk down the street the following night, and it was very, very quiet. There was a lot less people on the streets. A couple of weeks has gone by now, and there are people back out on the streets. There is a lot of I don't call them props because they're not really working for the bars, they're working for the gangs. I haven't really been asked as much though, walking up and down that street. No, they're not as blatant with it. They're definitely not as pestery with it. So I would say yes, they have calmed down. I don't think it's solved the big problem, as in the people who are pulling the strings, as far as I know, are still pulling the strings. I don't really know in too much detail, too deeply in that world. I don't delve in that world, and I try and keep out of it, to be honest, because it's not a nice world to get mixed up in. Oh. Let me see. Coming over the 3rd of May, this is Karen. Coming over 3rd of May on my own, staying at Magic Villa, what they call Muggers Alley. Not going out late at night because of that reason. Don't avoid going out late at night because of that reason. You will see people hanging about there, but No, I would not say don't avoid going out because of that little stretch, because the people walking up and down there just don't get. It's the same. Don't make yourself an easy target. Don't make yourself an easy target. Of course, you should be able to get drunk and let loose in Benidorm, but if you're getting to the point where you don't know where you are, where you're stumbling about, where you're falling all over, where you're in a zombie world, they're going to jump on you. And that's going to happen wherever you are. So just keep your wits about you a little bit, and you'll be absolutely fine. Let me see. Wow, I'm quite far back with these questions. Derek Hughes, thank you very much. Get yourself in the Champot for a pint of Guinness and see my pal Scott playing the guitar. Thank you very much, Derek, for that super chat. Super thanks. I don't drink alcohol, but if they've got 0.0 Guinness, I'll get one of them. Thank you very much. I think I've got back to where were I? Where are we? In some Sally Robertson. I'm on a diet, Sally. I'm on a diet. No shortbread for now, because I'll eat it. I'm not actually on a diet, but I am on a bit of a health kick with regards to the gym. What time of year do more women come to Benidorm than men? Never. Never. There is always more blokes than women in Benidorm. Always. It just is. My Tyson, best and cheapest way from Alicante to Benidorm. From the airport, the cheapest way is the Alsa bus. I think that's €8. We've actually done a full video on all the different options. The best way is with a private transfer. My transfer is Benidorm all the way. Cheapest is not always best, in my opinion. But if you're on your own, if you're a solo traveller, the bus is absolutely fine. Even as a couple, the bus is fine. But if there's more than two of you, get yourselves a private transfer. It works out almost the same if there's a few of you. So I would definitely say get a private transfer if there are a few of you. Amber Oliver, can I do an updated kid-friendly places to go video? I don't think there's really any new ones to be added on the list of that video that we did. It's pretty much the same. Rincon de Loix, yeah, you've got White Horse, you've got the Tropical. We've lost Sinatra's Premium this year, unfortunately. The Rincon is in the summer much more family orientated bar-wise than the Strip. Although the Strip does change in summer as well. You get a different atmosphere in summer on the Strip. But me personally, I wouldn't take kids there. Hi Lucy, I was on your channel. It was on the Yellow Brick Road vlog. Me and Dad walked past just after the novel. Oh yeah, I remember you guys. Are the police doing anything about the mugging gangs? I don't know. I don't know if that's on their agenda or not. After this Q&A, would you do another quick reel on the Port Benidorm? I've got to get down the other end today for the opening of Tipsy Jockey. I'll do another one soon. There's really no different to be seen than what I did the other day, so I won't do another one till another week when it's changed a little bit. Is it true you are not allowed on the beach at night? You're not allowed on the beach when they do the cleaning, and that's for the sole reason that they don't want to be chopping you up into little pieces as the tractor goes over the sand. They don't want to be looking out, having to dodge people, because the beach gets cleaned every single night. So there are specific times. If you look on the signs, I think it could be 10 a.m. till 7 a.m. off the top of my head, but they're very flexible with that. They're not, if you go on the beach at 10:30, they're not going to be running on trying to find you. If the tractors are on there, they will tell you to get off, but they're really not strict with things like this. When it comes to all these fines that people go on about, you'll get fined for this, you'll get fined for that, you'll get fined for this. It's scaremongering, guys. It's people just latching on to try, and the papers especially, the newspapers are on it every year, trying to stay relevant, just talking a load of BS. I mean, if if the police were actively going out fining people for all these things, you think about it logically. How many of you guys come to Benidorm 3, 4, 5 times a year? How many people do you know that come to Benidorm 3, 4, 5 times a year? How many people do you talk to on those 3 or 4, 5 times a year that you're here? And how many have you met that have actually been fined? Because I haven't met any. So think about it that way, and then think about what people say, like you'll get fined for this, you'll get fined for this, and does it actually happen? Now, there are rules in place for certain reasons, but they're not there just to specifically go out and try and find tourists, as is sometimes made out. Nicola, don't be doing a Jacqueline on that cable. Do you know what? I have no idea what Jacqueline did on that cable. I never watched the Benidorm series, and I know that's probably going to shock the hell out of you, but I never watched it, and I probably won't. Am I fluent in Spanish? Oh, good question. I never say I'm fluent in Spanish. I say I'm probably like 90%. Conversational wise, I have absolutely no problems holding a conversation in Spanish. Writing is not great, and reading is not great. I can sort of, if I read something in Spanish, you know, like if I'm trying to read a book, or I'm not talking about signs and stuff, little words like that, that comes naturally now. But if I'm trying to read something, a document or a book, I can sort of pick the main bit out, but I'm not reading it as I would be reading something in English, where I'm reading everything perfectly. Writing I do really struggle with, because I've never really had the proper lessons. I've just sort of picked up stuff along the way. When I first started trying to learn Spanish, I had a teacher come around the house. Didn't last very long, it wasn't sinking in. I tried online courses, again didn't really last, it wasn't really sinking in. It wasn't until I started working in a Spanish bar, and everything that I had in here, as I was having to forced to speak Spanish daily and forced to listen to Spanish daily for 8 hours a day, because I was in a Spanish bar, everything sort of clicked then, and all these things that I had in my head, all these words, just came together as phrases, and my conversational Spanish went from like 30% to about 70% in the space of a couple of months. That was just because constantly practicing. You have to be are useless unless you're practicing it. And believe it or not, it's difficult in Benidorm because so many people speak English, and even the Spanish people want to learn English, because a lot of them will be working in bars and restaurants and stuff like that, so they do want to learn English. So you speak to someone in Spanish and they reply to you in English, it doesn't really help you if you're trying to learn. It is quite difficult in that respect. I will probably be continuously learning Spanish for the rest of my life, always picking up new words, that obscure words, strange words, you know. You think about the English language and the vocabulary in the English language. I don't know all the words, all the English words in the dictionary, do I? So I'm probably never going to know all Spanish words either. So there you go. The Facebook site is called the Benidorm Enthusiast. The Facebook site's where I started everything. It's more my baby than this YouTube channel, really. The Facebook's where the Benidorm Enthusiast was born. Jenny Lee, will I be at the Funky Flamingo in May? It depends if Leeds United get to the FA Cup final, because if Leeds get to the FA Cup final, I will be going to Wembley. What's the poshest restaurant in Benidorm? Ooh, that is a tough one. Depends what sort of food, really. The Villa Venecia has a lovely restaurant for Spanish food. It's very posh, very expensive. Amigo's Steakhouse is super steak, but very expensive. Posh. It has a rooftop. I don't know, really. Posh. You've got Bahia Blanca, which is very nice. That's overlooking the whole bay around here. Let me show you. No, wrong way. Yeah, that way. I'm confusing myself now because we're on the mirror image. So Bahia Blanca is overlooking the bay from here. Seafood restaurant. That's very nice as well. But they do tend to keep restaurants quite relaxed here. In posh, yeah, posh depends what you mean by posh. Really expensive, or do you just mean fancy food? Bahia Blanca maybe is up there. Up on the inside you've got some quite posh restaurants as well. What's the weather like mid-May? Well, I'm hoping it'll be like this, but just a couple of degrees more, maybe 25 degrees mid-May. Average highs, I would say, and hopefully plenty of sunshine. One along the road in Cairns, Australia, cable ski on a lake. So I was right, it was Oz, yeah. I thought there was one in Oz on a lake, the cable ski that we was talking about behind me. And Smithy, you have guests from other channels. How about getting a few all together for one of the fiestas? Would they visit all together? I don't know. I wouldn't like to try and be the one to try and organise that. It's hard enough trying to get my mates together for the night. Then trying to get a load of YouTubers who travel the world all over together. We have spoke about it actually. I'm in a WhatsApp group with a few YouTubers, and we have all said, will we ever all be in one place together at the same time? But I don't think it's something that we could sort of plan, because everyone's just doing their own thing. And has their own agendas and has their own schedules to adhere to and things like that. So it'd be difficult. It'd be nice, but it'd be difficult. Nicola, there is a lot of family-friendly bars with entertainment away from it. Yeah, there are. Yes, there are. Buddies is another one. I can't think of any more up top of my head. White Horse, and yeah, the places in the Rincon that Rincon de Loix for the British, I would say, is probably the best area for families if you're going to be going to the pubs and watching shows. I really like Finisterre, close to Benidorm, from the beach Cala up to the village of Finisterre. Yeah, Finistrat's lovely, nice little bay, and the village. I lived there for a while actually. Question: after meeting so many people, what is the one thing you have learned about humans? That's a bizarre question, and that's probably going to be my answer. Humans are bizarre, and I knew that before I started doing this. Yeah, that's it. Humans are weird, aren't they? We are weird. There's a few. That's the question's gone loads of times. Mickey, how do you manage to stay in Spain all year round with you being British and we are no longer in the EU? I've lived here for nearly 25 years. I got my full residencia, permanent residencia, long time ago. So the 90-day rule does not apply to me. And you still can move here if you meet certain requirements, even after Brexit. It is still possible. It's not as easy as it once was, but it is still very possible. There are people moving here all the time. I play dumb games. Played at the Punk Weekender last week. I was lucky enough to... The venue booked us an apartment in Poniente above a fresh restaurant. Such an amazing experience. Sherry's bar food was great. Yep, great. Some great places mentioned there. How much do singers make in bars? I'd love to come over for a month or so to perform and enjoy the sun. I don't know if you could, to be honest, with the rules about working. You'd have to get some sort of special visa, I would imagine. And I think you would have to get the bars to apply for that on your behalf, so I'm not sure how that would work. It's not like you can just jump on a plane, come here and say, oh, I want to sing in the bar this week. No, it doesn't work like that. How much do they earn? It can range anything from €70 to 200, 250 euros, depending on the person, depending on the show. Will we ever see a Lucy's bar? Alan Smithy. Do you know what? When I first moved here, I always said I'll have my own bar one day. I was brought up in pubs in the UK, lived in pubs pretty much all my life as a kid. So yeah, when I moved here, it was a dream of mine. But I couldn't think of anything I like less at this moment. minute in time, having run bars here, having worked in bars, and having run bars, managed bars, co-managed bars, assistant managed bars, just worked in bars for many, many years here. No, I wouldn't want my own bar. I just wouldn't. No. Coffee shop, maybe, cafe, something a little bit more chill. I know, don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound like, I don't want to start sounding like a big head. If I did open a bar, I'd make a fortune, but there's more to life than money, isn't there? I love the work-life balance I have now. I don't need to open a bar to make money. I've got my own business online. I do all this Benidorm, the Benidorm Enthusiast stuff. We've now got the travel stuff going on. I've got the karaoke going on. I've got a lot of different ways of a lot of different income streams, and I like it that way, because if I get bored of one thing, I do less of that and I do more of the other. If I had a bar, it's a 24-hour job is owning a bar. It's not a case of, yeah, I can just open it, stick someone in it to run it. No, it wouldn't work like that for me. I'm very particular about how I like things done, and I don't think, no, not at this moment in time. Never ever say never. I do miss working behind the bar occasionally, you know. I think I go into some place I was like Fiesta Week, remember we're working, St. Patrick's Day, remember working shifts like that when it's just absolute madness, but you're knackered, but what a laugh you have. And I do miss having banter over the bar with people and stuff like that, but no, a bar of my own is not on my agenda right now. Andy Craig, is there a clique with British residents who think they're more important than the holidaymakers? Not in my opinion, no, definitely not. I think the British residents who live here are fully aware that Benidorm wouldn't be what it is without tourists. So they've got this place to enjoy because tourism's built it up that way. I don't think, no, not at all. In my opinion, no. Alison, hey Alison, nice to see you. Remind me where we need to be on St. George's Day. Oh, so glad you've mentioned that, Alison, because big news, and I haven't said anything about this yet, but now St. George's Day is not as big as Paddy's Day, and every time we promote Paddy's Day and we have all this stuff going on, there's always a lot of people saying, why don't you do anything for St. George's Day? Why don't you do anything for St. George's Day? Churchill's is the one bar in the new town which has done made a big deal of St. George's Day in recent years. This year I have tried to push it to bar owners in the new town and tell them you need to do something for St. George's Day. They don't seem to be interested right now. They don't see that there's enough people coming over for it right now, which has annoyed me, really has. But in the old town, they are taking note. In the old town, this year, Harry's Bar on Calle San Miguel is putting on a big do. Not just their bar, they're getting the whole street involved. So that's the street where you have Northern Soul, you have Excalibur. Javier sadly won't be involved. We've just recently found out that he passed away. He would have been involved. You've also got on that street Collier's, which is a Scottish bar, but they are getting involved. They're letting the flags go up, which is, well, I think is great, you know, because it'll be reciprocated when it's St Andrew's Day, won't it? And they can do something on that street for the Scottish. So yeah, Old Town, either Churchill's Bar in the new town or the Old Town San Miguel Street, Harry's Bar. That is the place to be for St George's Day, and we will be filming it. Woody Wood, any plans for Jokers or Valentine's to reopen? There's a few rumours going around about Jokers, but nothing solid yet. Valentine's needs a lot of work. Whoever takes Valentine's on is going to have some deep pockets, I think, because it's falling apart. It requires a lot of work to get it back on. Mickey has sent us 20 quid. Super thanks. Thank you very, very much, Mickey. Much appreciated. Much appreciated, and I hope to see you in June. Let's see, let me flick flick through. I'm coming up to the hour mark. Have I been talking for an hour already? That's madness. How many years have I lived in Spain? I've lived in Spain for 20, will it be 20, will it be 25 this year? Will it be 25? Yeah, I think it will. Permanently, 23, but I was coming and going for like 2 years before I actually permanently moved here. What's the best way to learn Spanish? Yeah, I think I've covered that. It depends. Everybody's different. I know people that have got on the Duolingo app that have had success with that. Yeah, I think everyone adapts differently to learning a language, so it's very difficult to say a one size fits all. Watching the telly or TV programs in Spanish works very well for some people. I find that helps with listening. You know, you get used to listening to voices in Spanish, because you can think they talk very fast, but if you get more practice at listening to conversations in Spanish, that's going to help you understand it. Can't believe you've never watched Benidorm. We're rewatching all 10 seasons again on Netflix. I know. Well, that was a little white lie in there. I watched some of the first series because I had a lot of friends that were extras on the first series, but I'm going to upset people again here. I found it a bit cringe, if I'm honest. I found it a bit sort of picking up on the worst stereotypical things about Benidorm and playing on that, which, yeah, I didn't like it. I wanted them to show other things. Yeah, so I didn't really watch it. It just wasn't my thing. I know a lot of people love it, and it did some great things for Benidorm. I've got some guy playing music here, very loud, so I'll just move away from him, because otherwise that's going to pick up his music. We are off to Benidorm next year, March 7th, at 6 days at the hotel where the TV programme was filmed. A lot of people do that. A lot of people still go to that hotel because of the programme, so it definitely brought a lot of people to Benidorm. It just didn't really help with the reputation. So it was, yeah, it did great. It did great things. It definitely put Benidorm back on the map and brought it back up to, made it relevant again, I suppose you could say. But people who were already thinking I will never go to Benidorm definitely would not come if they watched that, because it reinforced that tackiness reputation, if that makes sense. Mark, best bar at night for kids, please. Probably the White Horse or Tropical. Yeah, White Horse. Downstairs they have an arcade and stuff like that. Louise Bannon, is the food and drink cheap in Benidorm? There's something for all budgets in Benidorm. You can go out and have a 3-course dinner meal for €10, as we've shown on one of our videos, or you can go out and you can spend €100 per person on a meal. It depends. There is something on every scale. Average price of a pint, probably €2.50 now. Daytime, there are places you can still get the €1 pint, but I would say average price between €2 and €2.50 for a pint. On a night, prices on the strip go up because of the entertainment, so you'll pay maybe €4 a pint on the strip on a night, but other areas it's still, you know, €3 for a pint. So yeah, there's something for every budget really. The sea looks lovely. It is so calm, that sea, today. We're only really getting waves now because of the boats and the jet skis going out. Medplaya Riador, yes, very good location, right on the strip. We did a video there actually. We did a video quite a while ago, but I hear very good things about Riador. It is yeah, it's a popular hotel and you hear very good things about it. Is it weird? People don't know, taking to you like they know you. It's strange for me. It's strange for me. I don't think I'll ever get used to being recognised and people just sort of coming up to me and grabbing me and grabbing hold of me and planting a big one on me, big smacker on my cheek and giving me a hug. It's still strange. And I think it will always be strange. I've never had anyone be nasty though, which is great. People are always really nice. They just want to say hello. They just want to show that they've been watching and supporting the channel and things like that. So people are always lovely, but I do still get a little bit like that sometimes. And I think sometimes people are a little bit taken aback as well because of my face. Is I'm a bit like, if people come out of nowhere and just sort of grab me, or I'm a bit like that sometimes. It's kind of weird. Hi Lucy, what British food that you can't get in Benidorm do you miss the most? I don't miss anything. I don't think there's anything that I can't get here really. Oh, I tell you what I had when I went to the football recently, and you don't get it ready-made here like you do in England. Bovril. Got a Bovril, but that's not something that I would have on a regular basis, even if they had it here. It's just because it's cold winter UK weather. A cup of Bovril at the football was perfect, and you don't get ready-made Bovril here. Don't start bringing me loads of Bovril though, guys. You can get it here actually. You can get it from, I think you can get it from Iceland in the little cubes, and one of my neighbours brought me some cubes back from the UK recently, and I made some lovely gravy with it. But there isn't really anything that I would say I truly miss food-wise in the UK. Is it true that Port Benidorm opens the 1st of June? Port Benidorm is scheduled to open on the 18th, could be the 19th of May. Very soon, a month away from opening is that hotel, and it still looks a way off. Hi Lucy, what days and times do you do karaoke? I do the karaoke at Funky Flamingo, Friday afternoons 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. and Monday nights 7 p.m. till midnight. Who's my favourite singer in Benidorm? That's a tough one, but I am going to say Chris Cronos. Are the bars going cash only as stated on another channel? A lot of bars have been cash only here for a while really, and yeah, they staying that way. Cash is king in Spain. Cash is still king in Spain. The Spaniards just don't like being told what they can do with their money, and so yeah, cash is king. It wouldn't surprise me. I don't think I would say more bars this year, but there are definitely a lot of bars that are cash only. Do a lot of holidaymakers recognise you from your videos? Yes, every day. It's crazy. I probably have 20-25 photos taken every day. It's mad. I never in a million years thought that it would reach the level of recognisability. Is that even a word? That it has done. But yeah, I think people expect to see me here, so when they see me they recognise me. Don't get recognised so much outside of Benidorm, though I have been recognised. I got recognised in Madeira, which was completely random, as we were queuing up for the thing that you ride down the mountain. I was recognised in Madeira. I get recognised in the UK quite a lot, but yeah, when I travel to other parts of Spain I don't get recognised, because people don't expect to see me in other parts of Spain, if that makes sense. When you're in Benidorm, people are expecting to see me here. They're sort of on the lookout for me, so yeah, I do get recognised quite a lot. What are 3 things you have learned that all people have in common. I don't think I could say there are 3 things. Everybody's different, aren't they? Everybody's very, very, very different. Yeah, I wouldn't say there were three things that everybody has in common. I don't think there are. Is there anything special happening in the next week? St. George's Day, already been over that. How easy is it to travel to Valencia from Benidorm? Not that easy, actually. It has to be a coach. You can get the Alsa coach, which is it's easy. It's an hour and a half, but it's not the nicest sort of journey. There's no train from here. The tram, you would have to get the tram to Alicante and then get the train to Valencia, which is you're going like 45 minutes one way to come back in the opposite direction, so that's a bit of a pointless way to travel. So the coach is the easiest way, about an hour and 15 to an hour and a half with Alsa. A little bit intense. That doomed mafia Christianity. Open your mind and you'll be free. Yeah, I don't even know what to say to that. That's one of them people are weird kind of comments, isn't it? Has the dancing podium seemed to put people off going to California? No, it hasn't. It's only weekends, I will say. I have only noticed it at the weekends. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but the place has been very busy because we're in stag and hen season, and stags and hens are into all that kind of wild I haven't spoke to anyone at California. I know they've got a new manager but I haven't spoke to him. But I'm thinking that it's only going to be stag and hen season and it's only going to be weekends. I'm hoping. Anyway, George's Day isn't celebrated in the UK as much as Paddy's Day. I know everybody loves the Irish, that's the thing. St. Patrick's Day is celebrated worldwide. It is all over the world. So yes, you can't be surprised that it's a bigger celebration than St. George's Day. But I do hope, and I would wish that more people would celebrate St. George's Day and St. Andrew's Day and St. David's Day. And I hope it will get to the point at some point that they are all big deals, big days on the Benidorm calendar, because the British are such a big deal to Benidorm. So yeah, we'll keep trying to make it happen. It'll slowly grow. It might take 10 years, but we'll get there eventually. Where has the best Guinness in Benidorm? Regards from Emmett. Well, a lovely friend of mine called Emmett told me that it's the Piccadilly that has the best Guinness. Piccadilly, yeah, none of the Irish bars apparently, but it is the Piccadilly. So, put that to the test. What's the temperature today? 22 degrees right now. Hello, Kevin. We've got the Scotsman on. Are you in Tenerife, Scotsman? Where are you? Because you fly all over the place these days, don't you? Who is your favourite YouTuber that you have met? I can't say that. I can't pick favourites. I can't pick favourites. My 13-year-old is learning Spanish. Do you know what I wish? I wish I was taught Spanish at school. At my school it was French, it was German, and it was Russian, of all things. I would think Spanish would have been a much more useful language, and even Mandarin. I don't know, do they teach that these days in schools? They probably should. I'm trying to whiz through the questions. Thinking about looking at a caravan on Villamar, good idea. I've never lived on the campsites. I've never done the campsite lifestyle, so I couldn't really comment or tell you much about that way of living, except that it's not as cheap now as it once was. Ground rents are quite expensive and things like that, and I know there's quite a lot of rules. It's that sort of lifestyle isn't for me, to be honest with you. It's very community based. Everybody knows everybody's business, and if you don't get on with your neighbours, you're in trouble, aren't you? Because you're that close to them on the campsites. I've always been a little bit more private, preferred a little bit more of a private space in an apartment rather than living in a community space like that. But that is the exact reason why a lot of people do it. They want to be in that sort of community, especially if you know you're new to Spain and you don't know many people. That is a fantastic way of getting to know people meeting new people and finding a new sort of friend circle, living on campsites. But prices are not it's not as cheap as it used to be, but it's still considered cheaper than apartments. I think I might have skipped a few, but I'm running out of time because I have to get down to the new bar down the old end, which is the Tixie Jockey, which is opening today. If you haven't seen that video, by the way, check back and watch that video we uploaded yesterday. I need to get down there to see if they actually have got open or not. We stay at Port Benidorm. When we come to Benidorm, we try and get a video of the hotel before it's due to open. Yes, we will try. I'm in contact with people now. They're not too sold on the idea of letting us in before it opens, but I'm going to keep bugging them. Try my best. If not, it'll be within a few days of it opening, hopefully. Okay, is there a hospital in Benidorm? There's a couple of private hospitals, the IMED and Clinica Benidorm are both private hospitals. The state hospital is just in between here and Villajoyosa. So the next town along, that's the state hospital, and it's currently having a big upgrade, making it a bigger hospital. I do think Benidorm should have its own hospital, state hospital. There's a lot of people live here, but I would think the land is too precious to allow something like a hospital to be built. They want to sell it to people for mega bucks to put luxury apartments on. Do you miss the UK or do you love and prefer Benidorm for living? I don't miss the UK at all. I like visiting the UK. I love going to the UK for a few days, but I wouldn't want to live there. Just my personal opinion. Like I say, I love visiting the UK. I go to the UK quite a lot, 2-3 days here and there. Last year I think I went to the UK six times. On 2 occasions it was just one day. Extreme day trips. Yeah, I do love visiting the UK, but I wouldn't like to live there. I never felt like I belonged there. Even when I was growing up, I always felt like I should be somewhere else, if that makes any sense. It's kind of a hard thing to try and explain, but yeah, as I was a kid, as I was growing up as a teenager, I always sort of felt like this is not where I should be. And I ended up here quite randomly, really. This wasn't somewhere that I sort of came and planned to spend the rest of my life. It just kind of panned out that way. But I don't have any plans of moving back to the UK. If something happened to my family and they needed me there, I would move back in a flash. I wouldn't think twice about it. I actually considered it during COVID, when my granddad got poorly and I couldn't get there to sort of see him. And I said to my mum, I'm thinking about coming back. I can't visit you, so unless I move back, that's the only way it can happen. And my mum said to me, don't you dare come back here. You've made a good life for yourselves out there. Don't you dare. That was me told. So I stayed. I'm glad I did. I don't think it would have been the right move for me. Shirley Wilson, would it be better to go on a tour or get the bus to the Algar Falls? I always say get a tour. There's only one bus there and one bus back, and it doesn't give you that much time there, and if you miss it, you're screwed. So I would always say get on a tour, because if you're late for your tour bus, they're going to come looking for you. They're going to make sure that you get on that bus to get back. A normal bus is not going to do that. If you miss it, you're stuck up there. You'll end up paying 70-80 euros for a taxi. Hi Lucy, really looking forward to coming to Benidorm in 30 days with an 11-year-old boy. Any tips for us? I went over sort of family stuff. There is loads of stuff for families here. If you want a true family holiday, you can have an amazing family holiday in Benidorm. I love your channel. What's weather like end of November? You tell me. The weather is so random nowadays. You really can't predict from one month to the next. We used to have a sort of idea of what it would be like, but nowadays, nah, it can be hot and sunny, it can be pissing it down and cold. Sorry, I Can't really say much better than that. What's the Benidorm by Perry? I don't know what that is. Sorry, I don't know what that means. Lucy, are there any bars in Benidorm where I can get gluten-free beer? Yes, but I don't know which ones. But I've seen it. I've seen it somewhere. Probably the places like Casper's, like the Corner Bar that do a lot of gluten-free food. Pinocchio's on the beachfront. Scotsman Kev, what's your favourite place you have visited outside Benidorm on your other channel? That's a great question, Kev. I'm glad you're on here. In January we went to Seville, and OMG, that absolutely blew my mind. Seville had been so high on my list of places to visit for so long, and I finally managed to get there in January, and I was a bit worried it wouldn't live up to the hype, but it blew me away. It went above and beyond my expectations. Most surprising place, Pamplona. Pamplona, what a place that is, what a city that is, absolutely beautiful city. That's in Spain, so they're my two favourites in Spain. Outside of Spain, Budapest. Budapest, out of European cities, incredible. I've been to Vienna, I've been to Krakow, I've been to Paris, I've been to Amsterdam, I've been to Rome. Not all of these on the channel, some of these before, but out of all European cities I've been to, Budapest. Okay. Haven't done a blog on Kathmandu or Ian's yet. No, not been to them. I have my favourite when it comes to Nepalese food, and I sort of say every time, no, I don't want to go anywhere else because I like it so much, and that's Gurkha Kitchen, and Nepali Chulo as well is another good one, both my end of Benidorm, so I just end up going there because I just like them so much, and I'm worried I won't like it as much if I go anywhere else. Ian's has never really been on my radar. I don't know, it's just never really jumped out to me. I think probably because you have to book so far in advance, and I never know where I'm going to be. But also, the sort of food that they do, it's supposed to be very, very, very nice. But if I go somewhere, I like to go and try something that's like completely different sort of food when I look at restaurants. I like weird. I like trying weird food if I eat out. What's the best time of year for 40 to 50-year-olds to visit? Mostly stay around the strip. Ooh, probably September, October. That's very, very busy with our age group. Not so many youngsters like there are this time of year, but it's still very busy. Lots of people just looking to have a great time. Jenny Lee, will there be enough whiskey for me in the Funky Flamingo? I will make sure we get some extra in. How do you stop yourself getting burnt out due to the amount of content videos you upload? I don't really, and I have got to the point of being burnt out quite a few times. If we get to that point, normally now I just take a trip away. I'm very lucky that we have that option now, where we can just jump in the van and disappear and have a complete change of scenery for a few days, and get some and film some videos on where to next, which is a completely different way of filming for me, and it's completely different content because it's places I'm seeing for the first time, so it's a completely different way of YouTubing. The Nerio Hotel, we have shown the Nerio Hotel. In fact, we have done a video on the Nerio Hotel at some point. We have done the Nerio Hotel. In fact, I'll tell you what video it was. It was in the top 5 Rincon de Loix hotels. We filmed in there. So if you want to have a look at it, look that up. I'm going to have to skim through these questions now because I think I need to go, and I need to get down the other end of town. I have to speed walk down the beachfront. A hotel called Benidorm by Perry. I've never heard of it, Ashley. I would have to look that up, mate. That's a new one to me. Are they planning improving the concrete in the British Quarter? It looks a mess. Again, there's no money. There's no money for it. There's no money. Unless things like this is what I think a tourist tax would be a good idea for, to keep the tourist areas in better nick. We are arriving next Saturday, staying at Madeira Centro Hotel. Not reviewed it, been up it plenty of times. Rooftop bar's lovely. Good mix of clients in there. More sort of Spanish than British, I would say. Tipping that way. If you like Spanish food, you're going to be, you're going to enjoy that hotel. Do you see many expats retiring in Benidorm since Brexit? Not as many as there used to be, but yeah, there are still plenty of people doing it. Where is the new underground car park being built? Is it by the old Elephant supermarket? It's on the Jaime Primero. Is that the one that you're talking about? The big main street which separates the old town from Poniente, and it goes downhill. That's the Jaime Primero. Have I heard any on the closing of Poniente Beach? No, just that little stretch that is limited. Not heard about it being closed completely. And I think that's it. I've come to the end of the questions. I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I can't believe I've been talking for an hour and 20 minutes non-stop. That's madness. Madness. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for everyone who sent the super thanks. Thank you for everybody that's tuned in. I hope you've enjoyed having a little look at this beautiful view behind me. We've got some great videos coming up, some different stuff coming up on the channel. Our next video is going to be, I'm not going to tell you what we've got coming up. Just keep your eye on the channel. Have a great weekend. Very happy Saturday for you all, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend. I hope the weather's nice where you are, get a bit of sunshine, and I'll see you all soon. Thank you very, very much for watching, guys. Stay positive and stay safe.